Maybe just quickly summarize what you just said, Janai.
All right, so what I had said was that, like, with Elizabeth, there's mostly Black people, white people, or Latinos. And with this being said, always when it comes time for spring or summer, this is when schools decide to bring out Black History Month or Multicultural Month, where it should be the whole time we're in school so that kids can learn about other cultures just besides theirs or the ones they're used to, because this is where they're like normally from. And then I was saying that, like, when it comes to Multicultural Day, a lot of schools are predominantly mostly Black people or mostly Latinos or white people. And with this, a lot of other people who come to like different schools, their background isn't as shown as much as the other backgrounds are, because most of the staffs are Latino, white, or Black. So they show this more and showcase this more because this is what they have more of, and other ethnicities they're not shown as much.
You think about, we've done so much in the virtual setting, and I think about certain parts of history during certain months. Being that we've been in a virtual setting, we've had morning announcements, and they're so enlightening and refreshing to see different classes once a week. So if we expanded our own thinking about, as Janaya said, different cultures, and we expose every classroom, every school to a different culture, maybe not once a week, maybe it's every 2 weeks, or maybe it's once a month, but this way we become more diverse, showing different cultures, and the kids get to learn about, well, this is what happens, besides learning about what happens in the African-American community, well, this is what happens to kids who are from Peru, and this is what happens in Cuba. So kids learn, and they become more exposed to other cultures. So we become a little bit more culturally sensitive because we see it. And then maybe it's someone in their class, then they can ask the question, and it's like a little, discussion for a moment in that homeroom period when we're back to school, or in that virtual setting when we're in, maybe it's a little discussion that kids, and teachers can engage in a little conversation and feel more comfortable because they've actually seen maybe a clip, maybe a video, maybe someone speaking about something. And now it opens up conversation because no one has to think of how to start the conversation because they have something to look at to actually start a conversation.
But I know, because I'm like you guys are, and like Ms. Casa was saying, I grew up in Elizabeth too, and the students here that have had me, you guys know that I'm Cuban, but growing up in Elizabeth, there weren't any Cubans in my class, and I wasn't Hispanic enough for Hispanic people, and I wasn't white enough for white people, so I never felt like I fit, and no one ever looked like me in my class, and I never looked like people wanted me to look. So I get the struggle, and I want to give
calling me names just because of my color, and sometimes I would have to go to the principal, and even if the principal was the same color as me, the principal wouldn't do anything except for to tell them to stop. So ever since I moved here, I felt very calm because nobody would ever disrespect me over my skin color or my race and my culture.
So that's a good point. I'm wondering, how do we create that? How do we make that happen?
We could create that, but School 2 already did. I think I said that last time I was here. I've been here since I was in Ms. Riddick's class, and being as like a lot was going on in my life, especially with Ms. Riddick and Ms. Bowers, they never once judged me knowing about my history. They never judged me, and even after students found out, they still never judged me. They still included me, not like I was an outsider. And now me being in 8th grade, it's still the same way. And I feel as if the way when you walk into School 2, it's like it's already your home, but you're added onto it. It's like you're never excluded from nothing, no matter what it is. Even if you get in trouble, they'll still find a way to make sure you're included in it. And I feel as if the other schools would see this, they would somehow want to also do this too, because they see how inclusive School 2 is. I remember a lot of times I would get in trouble, and still Ms. Broyer would still try to find out a way to get me back into it so that I could feel included and never discouraged.
Go ahead, Danielle.
I
Okay, Mr. So I also have another idea. It's actually for morning announcements. So like you know how we're talking about how we can teach about our past, but like what about like what's happening now? Like every morning, maybe like after morning announcements, we give like a summary on what's happening. Like say like we were in school right now, we would give a summary about how um Muslims are being held in concentration camps in China. Over 2 million of them are being forced out of their religion, killed, and all of that. Or also, if we were to be doing this like 2, 3 months ago, we would be talking about how um, African Americans are among the most are among the top culture that faces police brutality and racism and discrimination and stuff like that. So like every day, or maybe just like once a week, we just summarize like what's happening in the world, because I feel like also that's like a big thing, and also like not just what's happening here, but like maybe in Hispanic countries, like what's it called? Like I think El Salvador just got hit with like this. Well, not just, but like a few weeks ago, got hit with a big hurricane, so they're struggling. Texas got hit with like 2 inches of snow and are struggling. Like, you know, just like include what's happening right now too. And not just like also what's happening in the past, but also like, you know, what's happening right now. But yeah.